Thousands of people in Maine do not have a place to call home on any given night. The latest report from Maine Housing estimates more than 3,400 people are either living in shelters or on the streets in 2022.
That's almost 3 times more people than the agency reported in 2019. In Portland, shelter staff report that all shelters are at capacity every night. Good evening and welcome to News Center Maine at 5:30. I'm Zach Blanchard.
And I'm Chris Costa. Thanks for joining us. As Maine navigates a growing number of people experiencing homelessness, the city of Lewiston is setting up new rules for how shelters can operate.
It comes after a controversial moratorium on new shelters had been in place for 6 months. News Center Maine's Sean Stackhouse has more on the new ordinance and what advocates say is really needed this winter.
Homelessness in Maine is growing, and in downtown Lewiston, it's apparent. A city council committee estimates 1,000 people have experienced homelessness in the city over the last year.
Homelessness is a challenge here in Lewiston, and it has been growing. I see people sleeping on the street, in our parks and alcoves.
The city council unanimously approving a new ordinance regulating homeless shelters last week. Some of the new rules include 250-foot buffers between shelters and schools or daycares, a cap of 120 shelter beds for the city, and details on where in the city a shelter can operate. Mayor Carl Chalene says he never supported the moratorium on new shelters in the first place. He's hopeful with an ordinance now in place, discussions on potential shelters can continue.
In our fight against homelessness, one of the things that is missing here in Lewiston is a low barrier shelter. And I'm hopeful that organizations will see the need here in Lewiston and start to talk about what's possible.
The city established an ad hoc shelter committee to help draft the new ordinance and study homelessness in the region. Co-chair Greg Saddlemeyer says the need for housing is urgent.
Particularly in the winter months, the situation can become fatal for people. So we really are talking about saving lives.
Saddlemeyer and co-chair Amy Smith writing a letter to city leaders this week urging them to facilitate the establishment of a 24-hour winter shelter. The committee, in its final report to the council, recommended one be in place by October.
We've passed an ordinance, which is I think we've made a good regulation, but that's not the same thing as actually getting the need met. It's just a policy on paper. The work needs to be done.
The new ordinance is slated to take effect on October 21st, the same day the current moratorium is lifted. In Lewiston, Sean Stackhouse, News Center, Maine.